Ladies and people who don't use their inside voices. Andy here, day 235 of the Inner Winner Show. I'm joined by Imogen, who's been on here a million times, and somebody else. Somebody who's sitting there shy in the corner, probably giggling right now.
No.
We're going to call you Kitty for the sake of anonymity.
Hi.
Hi, Kitty. Have you ever been on a podcast?
Nope.
Are you nervous?
Yeah.
Good. Let's get started. So I guess my first question is, why did you want to do this podcast with us? Why did you say yes? And don't say just to be nice. Or I'll hit you.
Oh, dang, that was my answer. No,
That's a terrible answer.
Just to, tell how it feels, because I don't really explain it to other people. So it's just nice to tell how I feel.
Because you've, recently, come out, so to speak.
Yeah.
And so this is your first chance to, talk about this more than, just us. Because obviously, we only talk in the bedroom.
Yeah.
And we're weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will also note that if this feels particularly strange or uncomfortable, it's probably not the subject matter and more that you're being recorded. And if you did it more times, you'd get far more comfortable.
Yeah, you should have seen the first few podcasts that we did. We were so fucking nervous. We went back and listened to them yesterday.
Oh, God.
And it was so abysmally bad. Really, really, really bad.
Oh, it was horrendous.
Really bad.
It's all good. I'll get there eventually. I'll just forget that I'm being recorded.
It's your turn to ask a question.
It's my turn to ask a question.
Yeah, we're going to jump back and forth. I'll ask a question, you ask a question.
Well, we are actually, I think, before we go ahead, it's probably worth talking about just the general how we met.
Yeah, that's where you come in.
Bit of
and
context.
then me and Llama get to chill over here while you guys do all the work.
Well, what was your version?
I just saw a side to what not only explore more my sexual kinks and stuff like that I haven't really been able to explore really, but but also because I recently came out as bi,
As in bisexual, yeah.
I've never been able to fully experience that side with a girl before. So when I saw Imogen, I was like, perfect. Cool. Sign me up.
And what did we actually do? Because we had a very romantic date.
Did we? Yeah,
Super romantic. We held hands, we went and sat in a park, we drank Coca-Colas.
We did, amongst
I had a
other
diet lemonade.
beverages.
Because I didn't want the caffeine. And we told you this, didn't we?
We
that
did.
We had a secret code
Yeah.
if we liked you or not.
Yeah,
I told you that, didn't
Yeah.
I? Yeah.
So for a bit of context, near where we live, there's a bridge that in the evening they light up with a colour each night.
Different color every night.
Yeah. And so our code was, Andy was going to ask, what colour do you think the bridge will be tonight?
Yep. And if you said red, that means no, we got to run. We're just going to run. We're going to leave you sitting on that bench and we're just going to sprint.
Not quite.
No, we wouldn't have. We would have just said yo, we're not really feeling the chemistry. I guess, okay. It's easy to say because it's hypothetical. Would that have hurt your feelings?
Of course.
Or would you have been I appreciate the honesty?
It would have been half and half with me. I reckon in my head I'd be oh, okay, I can't experience I can't get to know more about myself. And yeah, you guys have.
But you know that, okay, I'm going to tell you a
only.
secret. You know there's more people in the world, right?
I know. It's just I haven't run across many. But
have you been looking?
Yes.
Well, what have you been doing? Just go on Tinder.
That's what I've been doing.
Well, what are you doing out there? There's 1 million people on Tinder.
There are lots of them.
Okay. Well, it would also be more did they not find me attractive? What? And if so, if they didn't find me attractive, what would I need to fix on myself? And I might ask, what do I need to improve?
Wait, so are you saying you were worried if you put yourself out there, you might get rejected, basically?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of the dating world, though, right?
Yeah, I know. It's just more when it comes to this more intimate stuff, I think that's the part where I'm the most nervous and self-conscious about.
Do you feel like you would be more hurt if a girl rejected you versus a guy?
Yes.
Because Imogen, what's your answer to that question?
I would be more hurt if it was a guy. I think because...
Okay, why?
Particularly having spoken a lot with you, I think that generally speaking, there is a sense that most men given the opportunity but want to have sex with you if they want to have sex.
That's pretty much true. You know that's true,
right?
Yeah.
I didn't know that until I met you, but if a guy is rejecting you, I think that speaks for something's like seriously wrong. Like you're seriously unattractive.
So what she's saying there, guys, is that guys have no standards. We'll just have sex with anything, which is probably true. No,
whereas I can see a girl going more off like feeling and chemistry and personality and like vibe.
But wouldn't that hurt you more? Because then if a girl says no to you, it's like, wow, my personality must suck. Not just like, he's not attracted to me.
I think going through the experience of like looking for men versus looking for women on Tinder, I'm more accepting of the fact that girls are a lot more selective.
Yeah.
So that's...
I think the only thing with me is that, like, I've dealt with a lot of guys who's rejected me, so now I, like, really don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And, like, but with girls, they're so much more...
It's still fresh.
Like, they're so much more understanding, and also, like, you know, because of all the additional stuff, it's just like, you know that there's high criteria for you, and you being rejected kind of is just like, oh, there's one less girl that I would be able to, you know, possibly have a connection with.
There's a lot of girls out there.
Yeah.
I know, but none of them are
No, but to be fair, this is like, guys go through the same thing. Like, a lot of guys get really, like, worried about, like, what if she rejects me? Because you feel like there's less options. I think if you're a girl looking for guys, you feel like there's way more options.
True.
And so it's not so, like,
Yeah.
terrifying. Whereas if a girl lets you down, it's like, shit. Like you said, there may not be that many, like, bisexual, nice, open-minded, like, sexually open girls to explore with.
Sure.
Like, it's a really small dating pool. It's not a tiny dating pool, but it's, like, smaller. Okay, so we took you on a date. We drank Cokes. We went back and we had... sexual intercourse.
Yeah.
So, I guess the first question is, like, Imogen was the first girl that you had sex with, right? That you fooled around with.
Yes.
How was that? Or, like, how is it with girls?
Amazing.
Is it nice? Amazing.
Hands down amazing. We'll do it again.
I have to
good
admit,
review.
like, having sex with girls is pretty good.
Yeah, I agree with you.
High five. We can't reach each other, but we will high five. So, how is it different from, like, versus guys? Obviously, like, girls don't have a penis.
Oh, really? Shocking.
I mean, we can...
No, like, with me, it was more, like, because I think as girls, we know what feels good, and it's just nice to kind of give back, and I know I'm more of,
That's
like...
interesting, yeah.
I'm more of, like, I like seeing the reactions of people, and, like... seeing how their slight movements and the slight noises and stuff like that. So I think when I tried it with Imogen for the first time, I was actually really happy when you said I was doing good. I was like, oh, I'm doing something right for the first.
It's like you're exploring more. Like, when you're a guy and you're having sex, you're kind of just like having sex. You're doing less like exploring. Like, you don't slow it down as much. Whereas I've noticed, like, you guys and like most girls, when they have sex with another girl, it's like really slow.
Yeah.
Like, really gentle. Like, you're trying to figure everything out. You're trying different stuff.
I do think that's a product of, like, not having such an aggressive...
Yeah, plus remember, you guys don't
drive
have testosterone, so you're not going to be, like,
sex.
horny as shit. Although you do get pretty, like, we'll say excited. That's a nice way of phrasing it.
Passionate.
Passionate, that's a good word. What about your friends? Have you told your friends, like...
One of my friends, yeah.
What did you say?
I've literally told her practically everything. So...
I'm assuming she's fairly open-minded.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's not like, you slut!
No.
How dare you?
No, she's fairly supportive. She only, like, the only thing, I suppose, is that her main priority is that, one, I'm happy, and two, that I'm safe. So that's all she worries about.
To be fair, we've only beaten you up, like, 10 times.
Oh, yeah, rookie numbers.
Thrown you off the balcony. Yeah, rookie numbers, yeah.
Get better.
Imogen, you got to ask the next questions. The next 5 questions.
Next 5
I'm taking over. We said we were going to take it in turns.
Yeah.
Why do I have to do all the work?
What do you like
Just
about...
like in the bedroom.
Not necessarily.
Hey, okay, who does most of the work in the bedroom? In this. So you guys can't see, but she's pointing to me. That was like you didn't even hesitate.
Sorry.
But I feel like that's kind of like...
That's true.
Sorry.
That's kind of what you would want. That's what I want to do. And, like, you guys both want that, right?
I can't lead for shit.
Yeah, but you can learn that. You
Yeah.
just haven't practiced.
True.
You specifically said you wanted to try that.
Yes.
Like taking the limo. So you just haven't practiced, like.
Yeah, and I can do it. It's just a lot more energy. I think we've spoken about this before, but it definitely feels like I'm playing a character. It doesn't come naturally. So it takes more, I guess, emotional energy or effort to be more dominant.
Do you feel like you have to be more, like, in character with a girl or a guy? Like, you have to try harder, if you know what I mean? Like, you have to be more, like, perfect.
With a guy, actually.
Okay.
Strangely, because I think with a girl I feel more comfortable. I feel like even though I've had more experience with guys, it's more like I don't know, it's like I feel more that's where I'm supposed to be, like, if that makes sense. Like, it feels natural,
which is interesting because I would have thought it would be the opposite.
Yeah, it's weird.
What about you, Mrs. Imogen?
In terms of pleasing, male or female?
Which one do you feel like you have to do more work?
Oh, definitely with girls. In the situation with the guy, and I'm making big generalizations here, but I think with the male-female dynamic, there is a sense that, like, the guy does the fucking.
I do like to do the fucking.
So he's putting in the work in that respect. And I think even, I guess when I started trying to meet girls, either on my own or with you.
Yeah, because by the way, did we tell you that she tried, like, on her own as well?
Yeah.
Did we tell you that?
I think so.
Okay.
And I even said, like...
She was, like, really nervous.
Yeah. It was a very different dynamic. But it felt like I was putting in the effort to set up dates and make moves, and I'd never really done any of that with guys because that kind of just naturally, like...
Oh, I've always done that.
The guy is usually the one that puts in the effort and makes the moves and initiates. Whereas when I was doing it with girls, I was like, okay, now I have to, like, almost step up.
You had to be the man. Yeah. I remember I had to, like, talk her into it. I had to tell her what to do. I was like, she's like, how do I go on a date? And I literally had to say,
God.
You just invite her out for a drink. And she's like, but what do I say? What do I do on the date?
Just act
Remember when
normal.
but she asked me, like, how do I kiss a girl? And I was like...
Yeah, there's a sense of, like, if I didn't do it, it wasn't going to happen.
Are you going to tell her about the first date you ever had with a girl? It was this, like, cute,
and...
shy Chinese little girl.
Yeah,
she was so adorable. She sent me a picture. It was so fucking cute, the two of them
selfie
together. What did you do on the first date?
Oh, I kissed her.
No, before, what did you guys do at your apartment before?
We made pancakes.
They make pancakes together. How cute is that? I know.
She also, when we first met, she, like, bought me a Kit Kat too. It was really cute.
It's actually pretty
She brought
cute.
a gift.
Oh, God. Now I feel like I've let you down.
You didn't bring anything. I bought you a Diet Coke.
Okay, what do you want me to bring you next? I've got a banana blueberry muffin that I made this morning.
No,
here.
I don't like muffins.
Oh.
Muffins are for children and mums.
Do you like muffins?
Love
Of course she does, because she's a fucking mum. Or a fucking child, one of the two. Take your pick. Alright, your turn. You gotta ask a question. Okay. I'm doing 100% of the work.
What do you like about Andy, and why do you keep seeing him specifically? Like,
because I'm cool.
Like, I suppose it was more like I've never had someone, like, I've had some dominance in my past, like, as in my exes, but they've never been so, like, passionate and just, like, 100% there. And, like, at the same time, I love being, like, just under Andy's control, and, like, I just know that he knows what he's doing. He's not gonna somehow manage to injure me.
So there's, like, a weird bit of, like, trust there.
Yeah, I trust you, and it's like more like you know what you're doing, you know what you like, and it's not like and even if we are exploring things, it's more like you've put some research into it, and it's not like some...
But you know I haven't all the time, right?
I know, it's more like the guys I've been with, they've been like, and I'm like, that is not attractive.
Yeah.
So I guess what would the advice be to, like, if a guy's listening or whatever, and he's like, but I want to try this stuff, but I don't know what I'm doing. You're saying just do a bit of research.
That, and also act confident. Like, for me...
But how do you act confident?
Being confident, I suppose, is more like just... Okay, I know this sounds really weird. When I am walking somewhere and I want to look confident or, like, put out that, you know, like...
Energy.
Energy.
Mm-hmm.
In my head, I'm like, I'm a villain. I'm the villain. I don't know why.
That does feel like your personality.
Shut up.
That does, like, yep, I agree with that.
Shut up. I'll chuck my ring at you.
I know you probably will.
But yeah, it's just more like, even if you don't know what you're doing, be like, yeah, I'm the motherfucking man, mate.
The idea of, like, playing that character.
Also, sorry, hopefully you guys swear on this because I think I've done
I never swear. Okay, the very first podcast I ever did, I said nigger.
Oh my God.
I was like, what up, niggers? That was like literally how I started the first podcast ever.
Andy likes being inflammatory.
I like, offending as many people as possible.
Cute.
Well, this is... sorry.
I will give different advice, and I will say, ignore what she just said if you're not confident.
Thanks.
And just do some research and practice, and you'll get decent. Because the problem is, you know what I'm like now, and so you're going to say, like, I like how you are now, but, like, when I first started, I had no freaking idea what I was doing. But I was still, like, confident, if you know what I mean. Like, because I didn't care that I didn't know. I was like, no, I'll figure it out.
Like, I suppose because with me, if someone's, like, a little bit, like, shy, I will be more concerned about making them feel a lot more comfortable rather than, like, I'd be much rather in a comforting mood. I'd be more in the comforting mood rather than, like, I could, if you need someone to step up, I could step up for you. So it kind of takes out that...
And that's fair enough,
like, passionate, like, feeling that I get sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, it will take that out, and it will take, honestly, like, a few hours for that to come back into me, because it's like, I'm more concerned about looking after you.
So it's like, because you can still be unconfident, but have a plan.
Yeah.
And that makes you look confident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where I started. Like, I didn't have a clue what the hell I was doing. I had no confidence, but I was like, I'm going to figure this out. And so I did a bit of research, and I was like, okay, tonight, like, the first time I ever tried this stuff, I was like, tonight I'm going to try blindfolding you. And, like, I had no idea what I was doing, but, like, I still had a plan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, I'm going to try blindfolding, then I'm going to try the ropes, then I'm going to try this. Even though I don't know what I'm doing, I'll figure it out. So it's like, I still had a plan. So I still probably looked confident.
Yeah.
Even though I wasn't. So you don't have to be, like, confident, but you have to at least take the lead, maybe.
Yeah.
And kind of know what you... I think you can't just in the middle of sex just be like, hey, do you know what we're supposed to be doing? Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, that
Like,
me out.
how do you have sex? You have to at least kind of have some form of a plan.
How do you put the pee-pee inside the VJ?
You just put it in there.
Yeah, I think, I know this is advice that you, Andy, give quite a bit, which is almost own the fact that you're not super confident, or it's something you're inexperienced, because funnily enough, that still comes across as being confident. So if you say, like, this isn't something that I've tried before, but I'm, like, really keen to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Basically just admitting that it's something that you haven't tried, but doing so with confidence, funnily enough, almost replaces the need for experience.
Mm-hmm.
What was your thoughts on that? Do you think it would be something you're more attracted to if a guy was like, this isn't something I've tried before, but I really want to, I'm really into it, like, do you want to do this with me?
Yeah, that's still confident. You're still having a plan.
Yeah, because it's different from, like, could I try this with you? I'd be like, okay.
Yeah. You don't have to be good at something. You don't have to be, like, the most confident man in the world, but you do have to at least have a plan. You have to at least say, like, I want to try this with you. And she'll be like, yeah, that sounds like fun.
Okay,
let's try it.
because if you say, like, could I try this with you? And, like, the girl, depending on the girl, she'd be like, yeah, sure. She's not expecting you to be a professional at it. If you're saying, can we try it? Keyword try. If, you know, she's not going to expect you to be, like, perfect at it. So there's not going to be that expectation.
So yeah, in summary, so you'd say that Andy's confidence, or, like, the fact that you can trust that he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Would you say that's what you like about Andy?
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Why do you like Imogen? Why do you keep saying Imogen?
Yeah, this is basically just like, give us compliments, please.
Don't worry, we'll give you a compliment at the end of this.
Thanks.
You get one compliment.
Oh,
One.
I'm so lucky.
And we're sharing a compliment. Like, we only both give you the one compliment
we
at the same
both-
time. We say it at the same time.
Both pick our favourite, though.
Fine, whatever.
Like, the first time I was chatting to you, I think I felt comfortable because you seemed really sweet and like genuine and like also.
And then you got to know her.
And I also knew what I was signing up for. Like that was also another reason why I wanted to go with you guys, because I'm just like, I don't want to commit to anything at the moment.
Yeah.
And like, this is what I'm happy with.
Yep.
And so when I was messaging you guys, I knew it was in store and I was like, okay, I'm good with this. And when I was messaging Imogen, like, I could tell that she, like, you're switch, right? Or, like, you're mainly dominant sometimes?
Yeah, no, I go back and forth. Like, with Andy...
Sometimes she's dominant, sometimes she's submissive.
I can be far more submissive, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, when I was messaging you, you came across a little bit more dominant, and that's what I liked about it. And then, because I'm submissive, but I can switch up if I need to. And so, when I was messaging you, so I felt comfortable, and then you, like, eased some of the nerves that I had. And then when we met in person, and you're taking it slow, or, like, at a pace that we're both comfortable with, which is...
Do you mean, like, before the bedroom?
Before the bedroom, and even after with, like, some of the other stuff we've just recently done. It's more like... Because other people, like, rush into it, and I'm like, no, hard pass. No.
Yeah, you get this a lot, like, especially on Tinder. Guys and girls do this, where, like, they want to be really sexual, but I feel like they go way too far over the top. They're just like, yo, girl, you want to come over today at 2 in the morning? Come fuck. And then it's like,
no.
I get that you want, like, a booty call and stuff, but you can still be... And the way I like to do it is, like, the way that, you know, we met you, which is, like, you say, hey, I want something sexual. She says, like, cool, yeah, that sounds great. And then you say, like, let's grab a drink. Let's, like, actually fucking make sure that we're not both serial killers.
Yeah, I've noticed that, like, the amount of times guys or girls have messaged me and they're like, oh, come over to mine at, like, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, and you're like, but I don't know
I don't know if you're Ted Bundy or not, and I don't know if I'm going to die. Like, I need to establish that I'm safe.
Yeah. And I never like doing... Like, I don't like that because you don't really get to know the person that well. And by the time, like, they come over and you start having sex, you could get halfway through and be like, I don't really feel the chemistry. Like, well, this person's a catfish. Or they're a bit of an asshole.
Yeah.
You also, like, meet way more people and you have way more sex. Like, it works out way better if you actually do, like, what we did, where you just, like, have a drink. Because it's, like, you end up meeting way more people. You have way more sex.
Yeah.
Whereas saying, like, come over at 2 a.m., 99.99999% of people won't.
I'd tell you to politely fuck yourself if someone sent me that.
That's very polite, miss.
Thank you.
It's polite.
I keep going to call you by your name, but then I have to remind myself, like, no, you can't. Yeah. I've done it like 8 times so far.
That's okay.
Okay, why do we like you? Oh, it looks like we don't have enough time left on the podcast. Bye. You gotta go first.
I'm going first.
I like you because you're cool.
Thanks.
I like you because you're open-minded, very eager to please, very willing to try pretty much anything that we say. Like, within you have a couple of boundaries. You've told us a couple of boundaries, but, like, you don't have that many boundaries. And even if you haven't tried something, you're like, yeah, I want to try. Plus, you're very sweet. I'll give you that. You're very sweet.
Yeah. I'll build on the sweetness.
And you're
thing.
tall.
We're like the same height, and you always call me a midget.
She's, like, taller than you.
I think we're like the same height.
No.
So the reason that...
Sorry,
We'll stand up after this. The reason that... One of the main reasons that I really, really like you is when you're very, like, sweet and snuggly. I find that's very cute and endearing. And it makes me really like you. I think Andy and I even said the first time that we saw you, we both, I think, individually had a moment where we were sitting on the couch when you'd just come back, and I think you were quite nervous. And then
do you remember? Yeah.
You got really snuggly with... It was one of us.
I think it was Andy.
Yeah.
Because I'm the best.
And it was just very sweet. And I think we both had a moment of like, oh, like, we really like this person. And
Good job.
Think you continue to do stuff like that where you're just very nice and sweet. And it's very
When you
endearing.
use your inside voice... Because for anyone listening, she really doesn't like to use her inside voice. She likes to yell very loudly.
No.
That's very true. You get very excited.
Seen a couple of spikes on the
Sorry.
on the recording.
Yeah, sorry. Some of you guys might lose an eardrum. That's okay.
That's all right. I normalize it at the end. I like lower those. I fix it. Okay.
You've made me blush though. There you go.
Oh, you're so cute. We should like finish on. I tell you what, we should finish on right now. And we will do a part 2. We will end right there and we'll do a part 2 on that nice snuggly note. Oh.